Okay, welcome back to Introduction to Physics. This set of videos is for my students to help them study for the Unit 1 lecture exam. And so if you are one of my fans who just likes watching my videos that is not one of my students, then there's nothing to see here. Just go on to the Unit 2 where I start talking about vibrations and waves. Go on. You can leave now. Okay. So it should just be my students here, and now we're going to review for the Unit 4 lecture exam. First of all, I wanted to make sure that you knew that you do not get to use a note card on this exam, and that is because there are other instructors who are teaching Introduction to Physics. And so we want to have the same kind of test and given to everybody. However, on the front page of the exam, I'm going to give you all the formulas that you're going to need. And as I go through these different chapters, I'm going to highlight those formulas and make sure that you know how to use them. And then also you'll get to use a periodic table on the exam. So here are the lessons that are going to be on the Unit 1 lecture exam. So lesson number 1, which was the introduction to what was Introduction to Physics, and then lesson 9 on atoms, lesson 20 on electrostatics, lesson 21 on electric current, lesson 22 on magnetism, and then lesson 23 on electromagnetism. So this is a review of lesson number 1, what is Introduction to Physics? So you should read chapter 1 out of your textbook. And then you don't need to know which physics class is right for me, because if you're not in the right physics class by now, then you're in real trouble. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, there isn't going to be any questions about the branches of science. Now, at this point, you should now be able to answer these questions. So from lesson number 9, why was chlorine gas used in World War I? So what is it about chlorine on the periodic table that makes it so dangerous? From lesson number 20, why are you safe inside of a metal car during a lightning storm? From lesson 21, why is a bird not electrocuted when it lands on a high-powered line? From lesson 22, what causes the northern and southern lights? And then from lesson 23, how does a transformer work? So at this point, you should be able to answer those questions, and these would make good questions on the exam. Now, the exam is going to be about 50 multiple choice questions from each of these different lessons, and then it also could have 2 written questions. So 2 essay questions or 2 word problems. Also, remember to bring a calculator with you to the exam, because there is going to be word problems that you'll need to be able to do. And the exam is going to be about 75% conceptual and then about 25% mathematical. Right? So that if you're not so good with mathematics and solving math problems, then you should still be able to do reasonably okay on this exam. All right, so let's go on here. And, okay, the power of science, that's not going to be on the exam. So this was just to show you the power of science and mathematics. And so that's it. So that was lesson number 1. And so as you can see from it, other than being able to answer those initial questions about the various lessons that we've done, you don't need to worry about anything that is in lesson number 1. Okay, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about atoms.